A Sabbath consists of stopping, resting, delighting, and then worshiping. Like that's the four components of Sabbath.
I'm not jumping right in and fixing this because
Yeah.
I jump right in and fix this. She's not going to go through the struggle of figuring it out.
You raise up people that's dependent upon you rather than the Lord.
I either believe what I have inside of me is greater or I don't. So are you off on Mondays then?
Yeah.
Good. So you take Mondays off.
Yeah.
So you take Mondays and Saturdays? Do you have 2 days or just one day?
Typically one and a half. Saturdays we try not to schedule much.
Yeah.
But there's typically something that's going on in the morning that I've got to show up for. And so we'll go do that and I'll go home the rest of the day. So
Yeah. Good. Good. That's good.
it is. It is. I'd like to. Now I've been now, take Mondays off, but we've been, for the most part, trying to Sabbath Friday to Saturday, though.
Good.
And so, like, turning off the phones, um, watching little to no television, no electronic devices. Like Friday night, we're going to cook a nice dinner for the family. We're going to play board games, sleep in on Saturday, and then if there's nothing going on, and then we'll
Yeah.
go do something fun with Wonder. And
Yeah.
that's been game changing for our family.
Good.
So
I love that.
yeah, that's John Mark Comer. I don't know if you've read him yet or not, but John Mark Comer has like just to our life.
Mm.
So
Leland's reading it right now. He said,
which
"Oh yeah, elimination of hurry."
yes, yeah, Ruthless, Elimination, Hurry was incredible. Practicing the Way was the next one I read, which just goes even deeper into that.
Yeah,
It's really really good stuff, man.
that's awesome. I know Brooke and I have been talking about that because it's like you take one day off, but then you're like, I got to pick up the house, I got to do laundry, I got to, you know what I mean? So it's like you got to have another day where you're not doing anything.
You do, and Comer really hammers that a Sabbath consists of stopping, resting, delighting, and then worshiping. Like that's the four components of Sabbath. And
Good.
so if you're running around paying bills on your day off, you're not Sabbathing. If you're cutting the grass, the likelihood is you're not Sabbathing.
You're not Sabbathing. That's so true.
And so figuring out, and that's been fun too to figure out that rhythm. Like, all right, I know Friday night come 6:30 or 7 when sundown hits, like we've got to be done. And so
Yeah.
Friday during the day has gotten kind of frantic trying to get the grocery shopping done, get laundry
Yeah.
caught up.
Yeah.
But
You're like, hey, I got to get this done.
but then man, by the time Saturday night hits, like you feel like just I don't know, back in rhythm and balance again.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
pretty
good.
it's been transformative. So
That's good. I know. That's what I know. Brooke and I were talking about that. I was like, man, I'm trying to get scheduled because it's so, man,
it's
you know what I
hard,
mean? It is really hard to even for us to get like the same day. It's like, okay, you
right?
know, because like this weekend I'm traveling, so I'll leave out Saturday.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, it's trying to get the same day. So I think it's going to be one of those things where we're going to have to just look at it every week or every month and be like,
yeah,
hey, these are the 2 days that,
right,
we're taking off. One day to just rest and have fun, and then the other day to do all the chores around the house and
right.
grocery shopping and laundry and all that fun stuff.
All
But
that
it's so
stuff.
it's huge though. It's huge, isn't it?
It is. It is. And then like it's so easy too to think, well, I'm doing this in the name of ministry.
Yeah.
And like, but I mean, because there's always someone calling or texting or emailing or messaging and everything to them it feels urgent.
Yeah, it's a 5 alarm fire right
It is, and then it's like, if I just wait 24 hours, I bet you'll handle this on your own. And
now.
you know,
Well, some of that I think is like, maturing, allowing people to mature because,
yeah,
like even with Allie, it's like, okay, so, there's things that I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna let her figure this out.
right,
I'm not jumping right in and fixing this because
yeah,
if I jump right in and fix this, she's not gonna go through the struggle of figuring it out.
I know it.
And there's the same aspect in the context of community. It's like, no, you're gonna have to pray through this.
It's true. It's true. And
Ah, that's interesting, isn't it?
it is. And our, as a parent, you just want to swoop in and fix everything. And as like the overseer of a community, I'm not sure what you're calling yourself these days, but
I don't
but
know, dude.
but when you're overseeing and facilitating, like it's real easy to be like, man, I can do this really quick, and I'm just going to fix it, and then you raise up people that's dependent upon you rather than the Lord, and
Yeah.
uh,
Yes.
and you run yourself ragged taking care of a bunch of people that never move beyond milk.
Such a good word.
So, well, I'm preaching to myself, man, because like we're we're
Oh no.
we're doing our best to like work through these things, and it's hard because some are so conditioned that like you have to be at this, and I need you, and it's like no, you really don't. You
Yeah.
you you need to seek God, and
Oh, the other thing is like Chris Valentin said this in one of his books. He said that this guy was like, "Hey, I need you to fix my marriage like tomorrow. I need to be in the office meeting with you." And he's like, "Well, how long is have you been fighting and your marriage been on the rocks?" He's like, "Well, it's like at least a year." So he's like, "So you're telling me I got to drop everything, but you've been walking through this for a year." You know what I
right,
mean? And it's like he's like, "I'll meet you Monday." you
yes,
know, I got an opening at 2 p.m.
right.
And so it's like, and I think we do. I think I don't know, we give into that culture too much because it's like, come on, like this has been going on for a while, and I don't have to drop everything I'm doing just because you are in need now.
E-
When
exactly,
when it's been going on for a while. you know,
exactly.
this just didn't happen yesterday. you know.
Man,
So,
I can remember this would have been what year did you preach at the Awakening?
oh, that's a while ago,
So,
man.
so 18, was it
Yeah,
17 or
probably 17 or 18.
whenever that was, my dad had skin cancer that year,
Mm,
and
okay.
he had like ended up getting it removed and all that, but it scared the family because we were just worried. And I went up to Dan and I'm like, hey, would you pray for my dad? He's got cancer. And Dan goes, no, you pray for him. And Dan turned around and walked off
Like in Dan fashion,
in Dan
right?
fashion.
Just walked off. Like
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
I was offended, and
Uh,
like I didn't get it, but it's that idea of like, no,
yeah.
you can do this yourself.
I don't know, man. The coffee house brings a
That's different.
reality. I mean, the coffee house brings a reality in this. Like, I either believe what I have inside of me is greater or I don't.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And Jeremiah and I were talking about this. He said this a long time ago, and it's one of those things that just stuck. Jeremiah will say something every once in a while that just sticks. It's rare, but it does
right.
stick. Since he's not on the call, no, it's not
Yeah.
rare. He says a lot of good things actually,
Yes, he
but
does.
um, he said, "You believe what you practice," and I and he said that's how you fundamentally believe, right? And I really began to think about that, and it's like I don't, you know, I don't practice into belief. Whatever I believe, I practice.
That is good.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
those are different, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't, so it's like, do I believe this or not? Like, do I believe that there's a kingdom inside of me?
Right.
Like, do I believe that he that is in me is greater than he that is in this world. And so when someone walks into the reality of a coffee house to get a cup of coffee, I have an opportunity to engage them for the reality of the kingdom.
Man,
And the only way transformation happens in our city is if I believe what I have is greater than what's in this world, right?
that's really good.
But I got to practice it. Like
Yeah,
if I'm not practicing it, then I really don't believe it. And so
that's
that's
really
the
good.
biggest thing. Because I think people try to do that. Like I think I've done that in my own life. Like, it's like, well, I'll just try to practice it. But whatever you believe, you just do,
You
right?
do.
Like you're gonna do it, right? Like you don't have to convince me because I believe it, right?
Right.
And so it's like, no, I think that's why Jesus says, believe, right? Like just believe.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a lot of the people in our tribe, we have a theology of healing. We believe the Lord can heal, but we don't believe it because we don't practice it. We don't, and so
That's true. And I mean, I'm confessing myself because there's times where my first initial thought is, hey, get Tylenol. Or hey, let me get you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my first
right.
initial thought. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you got a headache? Go grab some Tylenol. Instead of like, okay, wait a second, let me pray.
Yeah.
And then maybe we grab Tylenol. Okay. I'm
Right.
not against Tylenol, but it's like, what's my first initial like
Shoo.
if my first initial is like, hey, no, I carry the reality of the kingdom.
That's
And
good.
Luke chapter 9 says heralds and healers. That's what he sent out. He sent out heralds and healers. And what would it look like for us to live in that reality of being heralds of the good news of the gospel and then healers wherever we go, you know?
That's really good.
Ah, I know. I know the Lord's helping me. He really is helping me with this coffee house because it's like, wow, there's a bunch of stuff that I say, but now it's like, okay, I actually got to do this. Like I got to walk in
Right.
this,
Yeah.
because there's people who are going to come who
Right.
need the reality of the kingdom and they're not really coming because it's a church setting.
Right.
Because when people show up for church, they're probably most likely there to have an encounter with God, or at least they're
Right.
checking it off a list, right?
Right.
But when they walk into a coffee house, they sometimes don't even know why they're there.
That's right.
So that's been a
I
fun thing
bet. Man, I bet.
to to have. And I was telling I was telling Leland actually just the relational aspect. It is incredible how much people trust you and connect with you just by the simple act of giving them a cup of coffee. It's incredible. Like it's incredible
Wow.
how relationship is built that way. You
Yeah.
know, it's just incredible. And I'm not so sure it's coffee. Obviously, I think it's the atmosphere of the coffee house. But
Sure.
it's like when we truly have an opportunity, and as a people in the city, we have opportunity every day to connect with our community and create connection. And trust. So
That's really good. And there's that element of consistency that they're showing up. Like you have your regulars that are showing up, and you're consistently doing this. And I'm going to see Chad and Brooke Seabright today, and you all start earning their trust, and they start letting their guard down. And there's something really special about that.
it's wild. It is wild how it happens. Someone, one of my Salvation Army friends, said that in India they counted it. It took 47 cups of tea because they serve tea in India. 47 cups of tea until someone got saved. So they had to have him over 47 times and minister to him. And then on the 48th time, they got saved. Isn't that
That's
powerful?
crazy.
Isn't that powerful?
Yes.
Sounds like I'm counting the cup of coffee. Like how many times does this person come in? No.
And does a 20 ounce count more than a 16 ouncer?
I should count twice, right? That's so good, dude. That's so good, man. I love it. Well, I know Rob's trying to get on. He said
That's what I just said. Yeah.
he's got bad signal, which is fine. I know he's traveling. But I wanted to actually I want to do more of these just dialogues because I think these dialogues are important. I
Yeah.
think I think we talk about things that we don't even, we're like, why didn't we record that? And so
Right.
even today, I think you and I just talking about Sabbath and like what we're personally walking through. is huge for people because we want these to be encouraging, for, pastors, ministry leaders, anybody who's hungry for more. Because it's like, when you're in the battle, you're in the fray. It's like, is anybody out there? Is
Right.
anybody like me? And you're like, yes, there's a lot of people like you
Yeah.
trying to figure out life, trying to figure out what it means to sabbatical, trying to figure out what it means to live in the 21st century.
Yes. There is, and it's hard. So I mean, it's just hard sometimes.
Yeah,
So
I know.
because there's always something in
There's
pressing.
always something. So if you had any advice, since you're shepherding and pastoring a church, if you had any advice to pastors, like what would your advice be?
Oh man. Well, outside of just pursuing the presence of the Lord, well, I'm not even sure it's outside pursuing the presence. Like there's something about creating daily rhythms and routines that I know that no matter what, at 5 a.m., I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go start my coffee pot and I'm going to go spend time with the Lord. Like that's
Yeah,
you know, and even at 5 a.m., you wake up and there's still phone calls, there's still texts, there's emails that come in overnight, and there's that pressure to go ahead and start engaging. And then even with that pressure, you feel guilty because you're like, oh, I really need to like do this because you care for the people the Lord's
you
entrusted
do.
you with,
You do.
and it's not that you're shirking off responsibilities or anything, but I know that without that time with him first thing, I'm not going to have anything worthwhile giving to the people or helping the people.
So
And
good.
so that's the big thing I think is just finding a rhythm and a routine. And and like I'm going to show up. I'm here again, Lord. And some days it's like I'm reading my Bible and I'm praying in an empty room, right? Like it's like, is this really making a difference or not?
Isn't that the truth? In their days, I remember those days. My days have been a little bit different because we start the coffee house so early that I was like, I'm not setting my alarm for 4:30. So I do 6 to 7 and just pray no one walks into the coffee house as I'm
Right,
reading and studying. But I remember there were days because I had the same rhythm. Like I'd get up early, spend half hour, 45 minutes before I went to the prayer room because I just wanted to be awake. So I'd read my Bible, but I remember there were days like, dude, it was like, boom, nuclear bomb, like
right.
awesome revelation. And then there were probably more days where I was like, what did I just read? Right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Have you ever had that?
That
Like,
that
where
I
you're like, God,
yeah,
are you even with me? Like, were you here this morning?
yeah. I think I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. I think that's more regular than not.
Yeah.
But there's something happens. Well, one, he writes his word on our hearts. So
Yes.
whether I'm getting it right here and if I can't remember it an hour later, doesn't matter. He's writing it here. But there's something to be said about the consistency of just showing up day in and day out and day in and day out.
Mm.
And then a week, 2 weeks goes by and the Lord's like, here's some rhema. Here's 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 this passage that you've read 100 times, and all of a sudden it just jumps off the page and it just sustains and carries you. And or the Lord will just drop someone in your heart, and you're like, I hadn't thought about that person forever, and you start praying and interceding, and then you get a call or a text later on that day, and it's like, man, if I hadn't have showed up, I may not have felt that burden in that moment to have entered into that for that person. So
Oh, that's so true. The one thing that resonated with me is like we'll have prayer room and we have it downstairs now in the midst of the
yeah,
coffee house, so it's just it's a different animal because it's not a quiet little upper room.
right,
um there's machines and everything going off, so your mind like gets distracted like mine does, and so I feel like everything's a fire, like it's like pulling on you, like what you said, like you
yeah,
got text and all this stuff, and it's like, so I just end up writing everything down and say, okay, I'll get back to that, like I'll get back to that, but I'm gonna write it down to
right,
put it on a plate, like I'm gonna pay the car insurance today. I don't know why it feels like I got to pay it at 5:45 a.m.
Right.
like right now when I'm praying,
Right.
but I'm pretty sure I don't have to. So let me just write that down, you know. And so I've been doing that, and that's been really helpful. But it's so funny how you get to, you get bombarded by those little things that you're
It
just like,
is.
and then you go back and read your list. I was like, I don't have to do any of that today. You know, I was like, this none of this has been
Right.
important.
Right.
You know,
That bill's not due for 2 weeks.
that's so funny.